Hello, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I really, really enjoy our times together. These discussion moments each month that we have, they're just so helpful. They're helpful for me to assess my month and see the obstacles that I've faced and discuss some of the tools that I've used to overcome those obstacles. It's a great refresher and reinforcement for me. And hopefully, talking through these things, it can save you some aggravation if you happen to have similar obstacles pop up. Maybe you can use these tools that work for me. That would be fantastic. If I can save you any time over stressful moments or to take better control of different aspects of your life, I'm in for it. That's what I want to do. So again, thank you for joining me. This month's topic I'd like to address is around the word of redirection. So redirection is the topic I'm going to focus on this month. I've had a few obstacles over the last few weeks that were the result of somebody else's or my redirection of a negative thing. Let me explain a little bit. So redirection, if I give you an example of what that is, so you can better visualize that. Redirection is when, imagine there's a person, they're having a day and they're having one of those days. Little things are happening that are a little agitating, puts them on edge, stressful moments, this, that, and the other. It's just kind of one of those days. And instead of controlling those things in the moment like we have the tools that we can do, that person allows those to accumulate, these agitations, these aggravations, and they get to a point where they're just plumb angry and just, so tense. Their blood pressure's high, their pulse is racing, they're stressed and tense like this because they haven't controlled those things in the moment. And they don't face the things that have caused the agitation. They haven't addressed the issues that are causing the angst and the aggravation and the anger. Instead, they bottle it up. And then comes along some poor innocent sap in our lives, and they do something that could potentially be a trigger, and we turn to them and we spew all this negativity from all this built up angst at them. We're redirecting our aggravation to somebody who had nothing to do with it, who can't fix it, who had nothing to do with it, just the outlet receiving all of this balled up energy. That's redirection. So redirection can impact our lives in two ways. We can be the one who does the redirection to somebody else and causes somebody else pain or angst or anger or whatever. We pass it on because this stuff is like a disease. Negativity spreads like a disease. I get aggravated, I get angst, I don't deal with it. I redirect it to an innocent person. They get aggravated, they get built up, they have angst snowballing in them. They pass it on to another person. See how this can just keep flowing? Well, we can stop that. So we can stop it if we're the person being aggravated. We can take control and do things there. There's also the aspect of if you're the receiver of this redirection, right? You don't want to pass it on to somebody else too, so we have to stop it there as well. We have 2 points of control here. We're going to talk through both. So the first one, let's talk about that. We're the person getting aggravated. We haven't used the tools to stop the stuff from entering into our head through the day. It's penetrated, it's in our head, it's aggravating us. We feel like we are just like snowballing out of control and chaos and anger and angst and, oh God, this day is just terrible and I'm so stressed out and la 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 la. When you start to feel that way, because you haven't used the tools to stop it along the way, here's what you're going to do. First thing is we have to recognize when that happens. This self-awareness, you're seeing that as a commonality in all these tools. You have to become aware first. But once you realize you've gotten to that state, here's what you do. You're going to say, I am in control. You can say it in your head. You can say it out loud. I don't care. But you're going to say, I am in control. Just like that, with that determination and that tone. Because the minute you say that, it stops it right here. It's like you are in control. You're in control. You're just reminding yourself that you are in control. Okay? So when that happens, you've given it a pattern interrupt. You put a stop to the snowballing. So be aware, get back in control. Now that you're in control, you're going to look at the things that have caused your aggravation. You're not going to redirect all this to somebody who didn't have anything to do with it. You're going to look at the situations and you're going to see if there's anything you can do about them. Look at the first thing that caused you aggravation for the day. Is there anything that you can control here? Somebody cut me off in traffic. I can't control that. It's done, right? Any other number of things. If you can't control it, can I control or change anything about this that's causing me aggravation? If the answer is no, you do this. You go, put it to the side. Just push it to the side. It doesn't get to have space here. You can't do anything about it anyways. It is what it is. Push it to the side. Okay? Now you're going to go to the next thing. All right, so maybe this next thing is my schedule. I have all this stuff at work that's due. Boss just gave me another report I have to do. I have all these things this evening I'm supposed to do. Blah, 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 blah. Aggravation, stress, anxiety. Is there anything about that I can control? Probably. Well, let's take a deeper look. Okay, so I have all these things I have to do tonight. Do I really? Is there anything here I can rearrange? I can schedule. Can I do things in a different order to save time? Is there anything I can do? Find those tweaks. Drop the things you don't have to do or move the things that can be moved. Free up some space to give yourself some breathing room so you don't have the anxiety. You can control that. Take control. You are in control. And you go down your list of things from whatever is aggravating you and do the same thing. Anything that you can't control, get rid of. Can't control it. Don't waste any energy on it. Focus on the things you can control. Okay? And now you've stopped the snowball. Now you won't negative vomit all over somebody you love. Okay? So that's scenario one. Scenario two is we don't do that. We get aggravated. We let it build. We don't stop it throughout the day because we just get so lost in our own craziness we forget we have the power to stop it. We forget that we are in control. We just let it ride along the swirling world of chaos and we just ride that river down until we get home, and then we have someone we love walk into the room and we negative spew all over them. Look, we're human. Everybody has crazy days. Everybody has chaos days. Everybody has stressful moments that they forget that they are in control. It happens. I redirect. You've redirected to people that you love. Here's what you do when that happens. The first thing you're going to do is recognize that it has nothing to do with them. They didn't do anything to deserve that. You're redirecting. Become aware. The minute you acknowledge that, you give yourself some grace. We are all human. We all lose control once in a while. It's okay. It's okay. Give yourself grace. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fix it. You're going to reset that moment to get rid of some of that stress and anxiety. You're going to do 4-second deep breaths. You're going to breathe in for four counts. You're going to hold it for 4 counts, and you're going to release for 4 counts. So you're going to breathe in 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold 2, 3, 4. Breathe out 2, 3, 4. You're going to do that at least twice until you start to feel yourself calming down. Because when you get agitated, aggravated, anxious, and stressed, and you want to lose control like that, and your blood pressure is raised, elevated, your pulse is accelerated, your body's tense, your muscles have chemicals in them that make them tighten because of the stress hormones. When you deep breathe, for the 4-second deep breaths, it releases other hormones and chemicals into your body that counteract the stress. It releases cortisol. It releases other calming hormones. When you breathe in, your body's like, oh, release the good stuff. And breathe out. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. And out, 2, 3, 4. You're going to feel your pulse slow a little bit, calm down. Your blood pressure is going to follow suit and it's going to come down. You're going to start to feel some release in your physical body. You're taking back control. So you've done your reset. You've acknowledged it, right? You've given yourself grace. You've done the reset. Now you're going to apologize to the little one that you just yelled at for no reason. Babe, I'm sorry. Shouldn't have snapped at you. What you did not deserve that. It has nothing to do with you. I've had one of those days. I'm sorry. You're going to fix it. So you've stopped you. After you've done it, you're stopping and resetting, but now you're stopping the impact of your negativity on that person by apologizing and taking ownership for what you did. Because you don't want them to carry that forward. You want them to carry love and positivity forward. So the minute that you recognize that you've influenced them in a negative way, you got to fix it. Okay? So those are the two things that you need to do if you are the giver of the anger, if you are redirecting to somebody else. But what happens when you're on the receiving end of a redirector? It happens all the time. I can't control what happened in this person's life that is causing them to feel agitated and then spewing negativity on me. I can't control that. But I can control how that impacts my bubble in my world. Okay? I'm going to stop it. I'm not going to carry that. I'm not going to allow that to influence me negatively to get my own snowball of negativity started. I'm going to stop it. And the way I stop it is I recognize, I become aware that that's what it is. And I'm going to say, this has nothing to do with me. That redirection had nothing to do with me. They're redirecting something they failed to do and making it my responsibility. It's not. It's theirs. It's their failure. I didn't own that task. That was them. Or it's just a random, you're just getting at the redirection. You don't even know why. It still has nothing to do with me. I understand that's a redirection. I didn't do anything to cause that. This has nothing to do with me. I literally will say that inside my head. Now, I had an instance over the last few weeks where I was both the one giving the negative spew and the one receiving it. I was able to stop the giving and apologize after. So, no, I wasn't able to stop. It did come to that, but I did stop it in that moment, do a reset, and apologized after. Okay? And then when I was a receiver of the redirection, it took me longer. I took it personally for a little while. It took me longer to realize, oh, wait, it's got nothing to do with me. It has absolutely nothing to do with me. And when I realized that, then I was able to just let it go and stop it. And that one was harder for me because I did take it personally. So, both sides, we have to control it on both sides. But the key here is becoming aware. We all lose control. Remember that we are in control. But when you have moments when you forget that you're in control, on either side of that, just take it back. It's a decision to take it back. I am in control. Do a reset. That has nothing to do with me. Those things are critical. So I hope that helps. These are things that helped me over the last month. And now I'm focusing on keeping the negativity out as it occurs and addressing those issues as they come up and not letting it snowball and bottle up inside of me. Because that was the first failure on my part. I didn't control them as they happened. So I'm doing better now to remember to do that. And look, life happens. We forget. We get caught up and forget that we have these tools. But that's why these discussions are so important. It's a time to remember, a time to reflect, a time to refocus, right? So try to become aware of any time you might be redirecting. Take ownership in those moments. Fix anything you might have caused with an apology and a reset. And if you're on the receiving end of it, remember has nothing to do with you. And here's the thing too, I want to add to that one. It's okay once in a while for the people that are in our lives to redirect their anger at us. It just happens. We're human. We all make those mistakes. And remember, it has nothing to do with you. But if this happens a lot with any individual person, you need to reassess that relationship, because continuation of a redirection of negative energy to you to receive it for no reason is abuse. It is a form of abuse. And you can control certain aspects here. If this is a person in your life, you can limit your interaction with that person as much as possible. If you don't have to have interaction with that person at all, then don't. Control what you can control. You can't control them. You'll never be able to control them, but you can control you by, and controlling their influence on you by limiting your time with that person and involvement with that person, or getting really good at not letting it in your head if you can't limit your time with that person. But remember, if it's a consistent behavior that you're receiving negativity from one single person, that person's being abusive to you and you deserve better. But you have to take back control. So hopefully those reminders help you as you see those obstacles pop up. And again, I hope they help. And with that, I'll let you go for this month. And thank you so much for taking your time with me today. And I've enjoyed it. And God bless you. Have a good day.